Good evening, everyone, and blessed be. This is your host, Aries Starwind, and welcome back to another episode of Witchcraft After Hours. And man, do we have one of the best topics I've ever had on my channel before. This one has to do with female domination and witchcraft. Oh my gosh, yes. Anybody that knows me knows that I love going to fetish clubs, and I'm a little bit of a submissive type, so I love a little bit of female domination here and there. So this article is actually called The Female Domination Witch, and is by Goddess Lycia from goddessworship.net. Oh boy, let's go. As a femdom hypnotist for 20 years, I've heard my share of fetishes. One of the more common requests I've encountered is to cast a spell on the subject, make him in love with me or enslaved to me, bind him to me with not only my hypnotic powers, but with witchcraft. I've hypnotized subjects over the phone. In mid-trance, they utter, "You're a witch." Well, I was just doing hypnosis, but apparently you want me to be a witch, or you wouldn't say it, so let's go with that. Of course I'm a witch, sweetie. How do you think I brought you here? Why do you think that you can't resist coming back to me time and time again, despite trying so hard to resist? I've had random fans who have purchased my femdom hypnosis audio files contact me or comment on my social media about how I'm evil and use black magic to keep them chained into servitude. At first, I was thrown off a bit, like, oh, I am? My intention isn't to be evil. I hardly know a thing about black magic, and I've never identified as a witch. After hearing it enough, I decided to own the evil label, at least sometimes, and this being the time of the year for witches and goblins and such, I might as well own the witch label too. It's not surprising that a hypno-fetishist would fantasize that the woman who controls his mind has his kinds of other seductive powers and self-gratifying intentions, many of which would not fit into a virtuous person's code of ethics. Of course, that's part of the excitement of femdom in general. Giving up control, having control taken from you. Oh my gosh, yes, that is so true. I love it. Let's keep going. And much of the power of woman yields in her sexuality, just as a man's power is conventionally in his money. To use one's source of power, to use one's skill at all in any way, might as well be deemed as a kind of magic. Everything that we do, where we have a will and make efforts toward success, can be considered a form of alchemy. We create, we build, we transform matter. Painters, musicians and writers, lawyers, athletes and accountants, anyone who works in IT, parents and teachers, carpenters and janitors, the cashier at the grocery checkout, we're all magicians. We can all make things happen that wouldn't otherwise. We all act upon our desires and try to manipulate a destination, regardless of whether or not its fate exists. Seduction is witchcraft. If you've ever had a date in your life, you've employed it. Did you try to get a girl to laugh with a joke? Impress her with your possessions or achievements? Excite her with your knowledge? Buy her favorite candy bar with the hope of earning her favor? You witch, or perhaps warlock. Oh God. See, I know this person, whoever made this article isn't a true witch because we don't use the term warlock, but let's continue. All that being said, am I, Goddess Lycia, Wiccan? Do I practice magical rituals? The answers are no, and sometimes. I do not follow any organized religion. I do take bits and pieces of knowledge, wisdom, and philosophy from a variety of religions. I imagine they all contain a bit of truth. And as with hypnosis, I do not believe that magic has the capacity to alter anyone's true course of moral code without their consent. In order for a spell to work, all parties involved and the universe must be in agreement. At least that is what I choose to believe, and that is what I say out loud when lighting a candle for magical purpose. If you think about it, this website I've created is a form of magic. I had an intention, and I put forth my will and my efforts into drawing you in. And so far, so good. The blog entry too is a form of magic. I got you here, and I got you to read. I heed your interest, and you feel compelled to contribute before clicking out of the page. I kept things exciting in animated images and captivating headlines. Maybe I am manipulating the internet by using my relevant keywords such as evil femdom hypnotist and femdom witch. And perhaps I am grooming you for some upcoming feature having to do with witchcraft. You never know. Either way, your interest in me and my work is increasing as you read this. You will be more than once, I promise. As I've mentioned on my Twitter, now that we've officially hit autumn, oh God, you can tell this was back in the autumn days when she made this, but we'll keep going. I am celebrating Halloween. Expect Halloween-related posts with special focuses on witches throughout October. And yes, I will be dressing as a witch for Halloween. I don't recall having dressed as a witch for Halloween in the entirety of my adulthood. I mean, that would kind of be redundant. Like an athlete dressing as an athlete, or a teacher dressing as a teacher. Not that I'm a witch or anything. Of course I'm not. That was I liked that article. Like, look, it was a little bit like, okay, I liked it, but at the same time, it was a little bit out there. Like, come on, I mean, some of the stuff, you can't be I'm not gonna say be a true witch or anything, but you don't call male witches warlocks. That's like a rule. That's like a degrading term to call us male witches. We're witches too. Warlock literally means oath breakers. So you don't want to call a male witch a warlock. But she had a lot of good points, and I did enjoy the read too. It was very fun. Don't get me wrong, I was having a lot of fun reading that. But there you go. This is actually the second read of the evening because I was just in a great mood and I decided to do 2 videos tonight. So yeah, that was the second read of the evening. I hope you all enjoyed that one. I had a very good time reading that. It was fun. It was, it was over the top, but it was still fun. I liked it. I hope you enjoyed it too. This is your host, Aries Starwind. I hope you enjoyed the read, and I will see you all later on. God is blessed, blessed be, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.